Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I welcome you all in the online session of power generation class. Hopefully, you all are fine and have a good health. Before starting of class, I ask you guys if you have any kind of question or query. In previous session, you may ask or raise your query. Otherwise, I continue today's session. In previous session, we have discussed the vertical axis turbine and horizontal axis turbine and advantages, disadvantages. These are further parts of wind turbine. It's a recall from the starting way, and we moving towards today's topic as well. But before that, I'm going to discuss the previous session that the components parts which we already discussed in previous sessions. uh, the session is not shared with you guys till now, but today I share both the sessions of yesterday and today as well. Uh, Parts of horizontal axis wind turbine. These are the parts which we all know. In wind turbine, this one we call rotor, nacelle, the turbine housing on which the component of circuitry, power control circuitry, generator plays on nacelle component of the part, tower, you can say, by which the wind turbine hang in supporting purpose. The foundation on which the tower hang out and support by the foundation should be too much strong. Now, these are the parts of horizontal axis turbine. Number one is parts of the tower, that the category of tower on which it makes, and uh, we already discussed about the session that if we increase the height of wind turbine, we reach the maximum level of energy generation, and at the level of 30 feet of height, we got no energy. No energy means यहाँ पे energy तो मिल रही होगी, but sufficiently it will be less than its limits. That's we called a zero increase of energy. But if we reach the level of height of wind turbine tower, that would be 150 feet. So the energy that is generated by the wind turbine, that would be increased up to 124%. Then different types of wind turbine tower, and then we discuss the tubular tower and then lattice tower structure and gate tower and tilt up tower. Blades by which it makes, most of the wind turbine consist of two blades, most of consist by three blades, four blades. It's up to the structure and type of turbine which consists by its housing. So A HAWT. What's the stand for of this term? Can anybody tell me? Anybody can tell me that what is the complete meaning of this short form? Yes, my friend. Can anybody tell me that what is the meaning of HAWT? It's horizontal axis wind turbine. Now, this one is we called nacelle. The whole structure we called nacelle, and it consists of the outer shape of wind turbine, rotor including, and its starting part is hub, main shaft, which is directly joined with turbine blades, and then the gearbox is coupled with the main shaft, and then gearbox. It is completely a set of equipments and components, which we discussed it in upcoming slides. Then this one is the brake side. Brake means the emergency brake, and the required at the time of thunderstorm and other kinds of wind time. We stop the particular wind turbine by applying this brake, and then a generator which convert the particular mechanical energy to electrical energy, that at the end side of nacelle we connect a generator. Then the high speed shaft is also connected here, housing, and these are the blades. So I'm summarizing all these aspects, not reading these things, because I already discussed these aspects and read all the kind of things. So in this level, I'm only repeat or recall these sessions slides. So this one we called hub. There are the five terminals and five joints which I connected the three blades, this one, and this one. This one is the outer side where the cap can be mounted, and this one is link or couple with the uh, main shaft of the wind turbine. So drive shaft would be consist of main shaft and generator shaft. Then comes to the gearbox that I already discussed with you guys, that the various gearbox used in wind turbines are voluntary gearbox, helical, worm gearbox. Then comes to the generator. We all know about the generator, that the particular kind of equipment or component which convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. That particular equipment we call a generator. And generator is the main part in wind turbine. Anemometer. Can anybody tell me that what is we called an anemometer? What is anemometer? Is mentioned anemometer, and what is anemometer? Yes, can anybody tell me what is the meaning of anemometer? So anemometer.
Sir,
What? Yes, yes, Mr. Chakar, please tell us about
it is a
what
measuring device, sir,
it is. The
for measuring wind speed.
Yes, it is a device. It is a equipment component meter which measure the velocity of wind. That what is the magnitude that going through the wind is passing through from these blades, and the anemometer, the speed rotation can tell us how much speed and magnitude is going through from a wind turbine. The particularly anemometer tell us the velocity of wind turbine, or velocity of wind. Sorry. So particular equipment component we called anemometer. You are right. Now moving toward the next slide. I already read and explain all these slides to you. That's the reason I'm not reading and tell you guys in detail, because in previous session I already discussed these things. Now I'm recalling these things. Wind vane. Wind vane. Where is wind vane? This one we call wind vane. It tells us the direction of wind. Either the wind is from north west to east, west to south, and particularly east to west, west to south, particular direction of wind of clockwise, anti-clockwise, tell by the wind vane. Now coming towards the yaw mechanism. Yaw mechanism turns the rotor into the upwind direction. As the wind direction changes, electric motor and gearboxes are used to keep the turbine yaw against wind. This can also be used as controlling mechanism during high wind speeds. So this mechanism is operate during the high wind speed to control the wind turbine and generate electricity in consistent way, which means if the wind going through from the wind turbine is too much velocity and rotate or move the turbine blades in enormous speed, then categorically we all know that the generation would be high, but it is not the required way. By this technique or way, the structure of wind turbine can be damaged. That's the main thing. uh, when the wind is going through from the wind blades, that particular gear mechanism can move the wind turbine in a smooth way, that the nominal speed of wind turbine to produce the electricity in its conventional and nominal way. That's the main thing of this, and the feature we can say of this gear mechanism, yaw gear mechanism. Now, size and applications of wind turbine, we all know that the small category of wind turbine, that is less than to the 10 megawatt, is used for homes, farms, remote applications. And categorical intermediate level of wind turbine produce 10 to 250 kilowatt of energy. It installed in village, village power, distributed power, and then the large category of wind turbine or wind power plant are 660 kilowatt to uh, more than 2 plus minus 2 megawatt. Particular wind turbine can install at central station wind farms, distributed power, and community wind. So these kind of wind power plant are used for commercial generation of power generation from the wind farm. Can anybody tell me what is the main thing to install a wind power plant at any area or any province? What is the main thing for wind farm by which you install the wind farm, wind power plant at particular state? What is the main thing for wind power plant? Can anybody tell me? This thing I already told you guys in previous session that in previous lecture that the wind channel is most important thing in wind farm. Without wind channel, wind farm cannot be installed. Either you can install thousands, either you can install one hundreds of wind power plant, wind turbines, but if the wind channel is not available there, so the wind farm cannot produce electricity in consistent way. Means that हवा का चलना बहुत ज़रूरी है. हवा अगर अवेलेबल नहीं होगी तो विंड पावर प्लांट का कोई फ़ायदा नहीं होगा. ठीक है. और हवा उन जगहों पे चलती हैं जहाँ पे विंड चैनल्स अवेलेबल होते हैं. जैसे जंभीर में आप देखें, ठट्टा में देखें, और जिन जगहों पर आप बीएचए सिटी के अंदर जो कराची टू हैदराबाद के रास्ते में है, राइट साइड पे आप वो देखें तो राइट लेफ्ट साइड पे आपको डीजे सिटी में, जंभीर में, घारों में जो विंड टरबाइन विंड पावर प्लांट नज़र आएंगे, वहाँ पर एक खूबी वहाँ की है कि वहाँ विंड चैनल अवेलेबल है, तो वहाँ पे इसलिए इंस्टॉल किए गए हैं और वहाँ कंसिस्टेंट लेवल पे विंड मिल्स या विंड टर्बाइंस विंड पावर प्लांट प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और नेशनल ग्रिड को फीड भी कर रहे हैं एज एन आईपीपी, इंडिपेंडेंट पावर प्रोड्यूसर्स. फर्दर विंड फार्म्स are main types of wind farms are two types. That one is onshore and offshore. The main difference, can you tell me that what's the main difference between onshore power plant of wind farm and offshore power plant of wind farm? Can anybody tell me? Yes, my friends. Hopefully, no one tell me about onshore offshore. So we start the advantages of onshore power plant. Onshore wind turbines or wind farms are advantages are it requires cheaper foundations, easily integrated with electrical grid network, cheaper installation and access during the construction phase. It can be operated and maintained easily and cheaply. Disadvantage: negative visual impact or noise, limited availability of lands, restriction associated with obstructions like buildings, mountains, etc., noise pollution, affected to more turbulence. Then coming towards the offshore advantages and disadvantage. The roughness of water surface is very low wind and obstacles to the wind are less. So large turbines can be installed. Noise pollution is also not a factor because these are too far from shores, less affected to turbulence in wind and low wind shear. Now comes to the disadvantage of offshore. Installing offshore wind turbines is much more complex and costly. Connection to the utility grid is also much more complex and expensive. Operation and maintenance is also a complex task with offshore wind turbines. Now coming towards the to summarize the concept of offshore means onshore wind power plants are those power plants which produce electricity from wind farm and provide its supply to the national grid or sell out as a IPP to the national grid to the purchasing company. But offshore wind farms are those kind of wind power plants which produce electricity but cannot feed its electricity to the national grid. It feed or provide its electricity to any kind of particular rural areas or urban areas, or particularly feed its supply to charge battery, store battery, and utilize its electricity to any particular purpose. It cannot sell out its electricity to national grid or utility as an IPP. So, particular main difference between offshore and onshore is that which I explain you guys. Now, moving towards the left and drag. Lift is the force that act at a right angle to the direction of motion through the air. Drag force is the direction of the airflow. This one is lift and this one is drag force. Chord refers to the imaginary straight line joining the leading and trailing edges of an airfoil. In this figure, you can see this particular imaginary line in between the lift and drag is be called chord line, and the relative angle which creates between the particular chord line and the ground surface is the angle of attack, that is alpha, from the relative wind. Now continue the topic of lift and drag. The basic feature that categorize lift and drag are: drag is in the direction of airflow, lift is perpendicular to the direction of airflow. Generation of lift always cause a certain amount of drag to be developed. With a good airflow, aeroflow, aerofoil, the lift produces can be more than 30 times greater than the drag. Lift devices are generally more efficient than the drag devices. Now come to wind shear. The rate of increase of wind strength with unit increase in height above the ground level is known as wind shear. This topic we already discussed in previous slides. Wind shear means the height of tower or the height of wind power plant, because at the height we achieve more wind and to produce electricity more as compared to the lower height. So means that if we install the wind turbine at the high to higher level as compared to the lower side of lower height of the wind turbine, we create more electricity to achieve more height structure of the tower. Wind speed tends to increase the most locations with increase in height. The degree of wind shear depends mainly on the two factors. Number one is atmospheric mixing and the roughness of terrain, the type of land in which we install our wind power plant. There are two methods which are used to extrapolate the wind speed at required height. That one is log law and power law. So coming towards the log law tells us the logarithmic velocity profile is given by below equation, and wind speed at any height h2 can be computed provided that the wind speed at height h1 is known as the particular formula v over VR equal to the ln height over the objective height, and ln h of r divided by again h naught, where h vr and var are the wind speed at height hr, and h respectively. The h naught is the surface roughness length. The values of roughness length are given in the table. You can see the roughness can be represented by the formula alpha, and h naught can be defined by the formula. It depends upon the type of terrain, mud, flat, ice, calm sea. You install the wind power plant at the calm sea, and sand, particularly mown grass, low grass, and flow field, high grass, forest, and woodland. Particularly, these are the surfaces and the environment areas on which we install our wind power plant and wind turbines. Build up areas and suburb and the city. Now comes to the power law. The power law is often used in wind power assessments where wind speeds at the height of a turbine greater than 50 meters, and the height is greater than 50 meters means the too much height we got or create electricity in too much magnitude, or approximately 50 meters, must be estimated from near surface wind observations, and the formula we got VH over the VR equal to A over HR with with the particular power alpha, where VH is the wind speed in meters per second at height h in meters, and VR is known as the wind speed at reference height, particularly the required height that we want for wind tower of the power plant. The exponent alpha is an empirical derived coefficient that varies from zero point 0.1 to 0.32332 depending upon the stability of atmosphere. Atmosphere has also impact on the performance, efficiency, and speed of wind power plant, and the velocity of by which the wind blade are rotate. For natural stability conditions, alpha is approximately 1 by 7 or 0.143. Now comes to the power curve of wind that tells us the steady wind speed meter per second with versus power in kilowatts. So the steady speed in x-axis tells us it starts the wind speed meter per second from 3.52 onwards and going through from its starting point and reach at the level of 14 meter per second, and produce the rated output power as per the desired output or by the user rated output speed, and then consistently the speed would be increased to 25 meter per second. Then the kilowatt rating would be cut out speed at this level. This is the graph that reflects the typical wind turbine power output with steady wind speed. Then comes to the coefficient of wind power plant. The coefficient of power of the wind turbine is measured of how efficiently the wind turbine converts the energy in wind into electricity. Cp is the coefficient of power that tell us the ratio electricity produced by wind turbine over the total energy available in the wind. That particular ratio is we called Cp, coefficient of power. If you had a wind turbine with just one rotor blade, most of the wind passing through the area swept by the turbine blade would miss the blade completely, and so the kinetic energy would be kept the wind. Bill's limit. Now comes to the topic. Albert Benz was a German physicist who calculated that No wind turbine could convert more than 59.3% of kinetic energy of the wind into mechanical energy, turning a rotor. This is known as Bill's limit and is the theoretical maximum coefficient of power for any wind turbine. Particularly if the wind is going through from 100% wind energy providing to the rotor of blade of wind turbine, and after extracting or generation of electricity by this wind would be wind energy expelled 40.7%. That means conversion to electricity from 70% of the 59.3% of the input wind energy. This is the main thing and problem in wind turbine. Means that in the diagram shown above, the wind turbine converts 70% of bed's limit into electricity. Therefore, the CP, the coefficient of power of this wind turbine would be zero point 0.7, that come from the percentage by dividing by the 100, multiplied by 0.59 that we got at this level. Then we got 0.41 limit. Good wind turbines generally fall in the 35 to 45% of range, produce electricity from the wind. Economics of wind tells us the turbine X works. Investment would be 1000 per megawatt or uh, these are the investment 929, and towards the share of total cost and all related to the economics. Now moving towards the aspect how to install the particular wind turbine, and I think I have to adjust this thing. Installing of wind turbine. So you can see installation of wind turbine. You can see in the installation you can see the height of maximum of rotor we got 339 feet full height to tip of the rotor, and thus to the center point of the rotor is 262 feet from the ground to hub. That particular is installation aspect we install in particularly in the wind farm. The blades on the wind turbine at the FPL Energy Grey Country wind farm are the length of a wing on a commercial jet linear. You can see the enormous size of this wind blade of and categorically it is in one piece. This one is the size of blade you can see. Then coming towards the wind turbine perspective, these are the workers on which they are placed and working their particular kind of work, and blades are 112-meter long. Nacelle is 56 tons of heavy weight, and the tower is in three sections. The wind source in Pakistan. Estimate wind potential more than 350,000 megawatt. Average wind speed more than 7 plus meter per second in Gharo wind corridor at 60 meters. We all know in Gharo already wind farm as a IPP of Gul Ahmad and artistic power plant are available, and they generate electricity to the national grid and complete and fulfill the requirement of the country. More than 50,000 megawatt potential only in Gharo, KT, Bandar corridor, twice that of India. Other sites in Balochistan, Punjab, and northern areas being identified as well. So, what kind of identification we need? The main thing of identification is the wind channel, where the wind channel is available, which means the consistent, continuous, and constant magnitude or air is available in 24 hours in a week. That particular aspect is available in Garo Wind Corridor, which is available in near the Hyderabad of Pakistan. Now, Pakistan 50-meter wind power plant available in by the scale you can see and understand. This is the report of US. It Now these are the wind major site in Balochistan where we can install the wind power plants, windmills in these areas. These are the border areas of Pakistan in which where we can install wind power plants in this site. These are the areas Omara and the etc. kind of areas on Balochistan we can install this thing. And wind major site in Sindh as well. These are the border area. Before that, in Sindh, Pakistan, we install the particular kind of wind power plants. The tower reflect this thing. Completed commission farms in Pakistan. MS Fauji Fertilizer Company Energy Limited, 49.5 of million dollars. Jambir and particularly, not it's not $1 million. It is a megawatt hopefully. And in Jambir it's installed there, and COD are that on 24th of December 2012. MS Jorlo Energy Pakistan Private Limited installed in Jambir its power plant 56.4 megawatt, and it will be COD achieved on 26th of July 2013. And then the three gorgeous Pakistan First Wind Farm, the company private limited installed its wind power plant 49.5 megawatt in Jambir, COD achieved on 25th of November 2014. And then the MS Foundation Wind Energy 2 Private Limited installed its 50 megawatt in Garo. In Garo in Jambir, there is a large energy of wind channel available there, and on 9th of December 2014. And then the MS Foundation Wind Energy Unit 1 Limited installed 50 megawatt Garo COD achieved in April 2015. And after that, more energy would be produced in Jambir and Garo from the magnitude from the company Artistic and Gul Ahmad as well. They install their units after 2015, and they produce electricity and provide electricity as IPP to the national grid. MS Sapphire Wind Power Company Limited installed its 50 megawatt in Jambir. MS Metro Power Company Limited installed 50 megawatt in Jambir as well. MS Yunus Energy Limited, that's the main name which I forget in my previous lectures. Yunus Energy Limited 50 megawatt in Jambir. MS Master Wind Energy Private Limited installed 50 megawatt in Jambir, and Tapal as well. Wind Energy Power Private Limited installed its 30 megawatt Jambir location. MS United Energy Pakistan Private Limited installed 99 megawatt in Jambir as well. Then the MS Hydro China Dawood Power Limited installed its 50 megawatt in Karo, and MS Teneja uh, Generacy Limited 50 megawatt in Jambir. MS Gul Ahmad Wind Power Limited install it. So the year is not mentioned, but it would be 2019. It's functional perform its functionality in Gul Ahmad Wind Power Limited 50 megawatt in Jambir, and the total under construction project capacity is 479 megawatt total category. The link is also available and mentioned there. So up till now the session have been end. So if anyone of you have any kind of question or query in today's session, feel free to ask. I will resolve your query and answer your questions. Before that, I'm requesting you guys please share today's session attendance in our official WhatsApp group. Uh, and after that, if you have any kind of question query, please feel free to ask. I will resolve your query and answer your questions. I'm requesting please share today's session attendance in our WhatsApp group. Thank you very much, Ijaz, for sharing attendance. Now it's time to end today's session. Hopefully, all the things are clear to you guys. All the assignments have been shared with you. The February assignment, last date of February assignment would be 28th of February. So you are requested to submit your assignment before deadline. Please don't be late. Otherwise, deadline cannot be extended for anybody. So submit your assignments and do all your kind of works before times. And it's time to end today's session. Hopefully you enjoy these sessions and all the things are clear, you guys. And there is no kind of query in your minds. Again, I'm asking if anyone have any kind of question, query in your mind. Please feel free to ask. आपको अगर कुछ पूछना है सेशन के हवाले से तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. Otherwise, I end today's session. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.